Hello and welcome to this review of Glen Logie, or Glen Logie, imported by Serenity Imports, Stamford, Connecticut. That's the same company that's importing the Kavanaugh Irish whiskey. But anyway, Glen Logie, it says distilled, blended and bottled in Scotland. Hay and MacLeod Limited, Glasgow, Scotland. Hay and MacLeod. I don't know anything about Hay and MacLeod. I looked up a website and they were saying that they do a lot of procurement of whiskeys. In other words, they don't blend whiskey, but they are a broker. They like basically come up with ideas and say, could you make this for us? And they say, okay, and then they sell it off. Okay, but the trademark data said that this trademark belongs to Witt and Mackay. They make the famous overproof rum. So I believe it. Now there's a valley, I guess, showing the Glen Logie, the little creek as we call it in the United States, in the valley. Glen Logie offers splendor, beauty, and serenity surrounded by stunning flora and fauna. Its heather-covered hills form the perfect, I call those mountains to me, but because I'm in Louisiana, form the perfect backdrop to this ever-changing landscape. I bought this at Total Wine & More, and it was $9.99. And I checked the price today, and it's still going for $9.99, but they're sold out at my local one. Well, not really local, 25 miles away. The closest one. Okay, never seen it sold in my town. I figured $9.99. There's no risk factor involved, which there isn't. So, blended scotch, what's the blend ratio? We don't know. Probably 80% grain whiskeys, 20% single malts of certain types. Put it in this single malt glass. All right, so it's amber. Don't know if they're adding coloring. Most likely they are. All right, never had it before. The ratings for it are kind of dreadful. Distiller is very bad score, but they don't have but about 3 check-ins. That's on distiller.com. Google and on Total Wine & More giving it like about a 76, like a C, average. It's okay. But I have no reference point on this except for the fact that I bought it. Trying to see about the alcohol eggs. Seem like they're going to drip off sort of uniformly. They're not getting much on that. Let's go with the nose though. So let's go with the nose. Little honey. Honey topped white bread crust. Yeah, that's about it. Any peat or smoke? None whatsoever. Just like I said, honey, it could be, you would smell this and think it could be an Irish whiskey. Or even perhaps a Canadian blended. Although probably less likely, you'd probably be less likely to think that. Yeah, uniform, medium spaced alcohol eggs. So let's go with the taste chuzz. I was looking on a map. They were showing Glen Logie. It was like a trail complex out there north of like a major highway. You know, just like a wilderness area for hikers, tourists. Probably most of the hikers are from Scotland. But it's kind of stuff I go on when I go to different states. I go on these nature trails. When I went to Florida last year, I went on Tate's Hell State Forest, and it was a trail close to the Gulf of Mexico. I got lost. But I found my way back, like Jefferson Starship. I found my way back. But I was a little concerned after 2 hours, but it was summer. But I was able to make it, you know. But anyway, yeah. That was a very interesting trail too, by the way. Fascinating plants, moss and everything, big trees, some hills. Which were, they said, former sand dunes. Honey-topped white bread crust. I mean, that's really what I'm tasting. I don't know. I read a few, like I was just glancing, and there was a few comments, but I didn't read the whole review. I don't like to color my reviews with influence. But they were saying, you know, like, oh, it's horrendous, you know. And I was like, oh, well, I hope not. Something like, tastes like nail polish or something. It doesn't taste like anything like that. Nothing like that, just a basic thing. Honey-topped white bread crust. I like white bread crust. I like honey. Body's light to medium, so low medium. Finish is kind of a short finish. Is it elaborate, complex, just an amazing product? You can't believe it for a blended whiskey. You know it's not going to be that for $9.99. But the counterpoint is more important. Is it a horrid, horrendous, terrible, definitively bad product? Nah. I think Whit and McKay is just sending it off like probably, maybe some of their single malts didn't come out so nice. Or what, you know, so they say, go ahead and put it in 20% ratio with 80% grain whiskey from the big grain whiskey distillery in Scotland. I can't remember the name of it. It's big. It produced a lot of grain whiskey for most everybody. So sell it cheap. So you imagine it's retailing in the United States for $9.99. So imagine what it cost, what the cost was, including the shipping. You know, it's very minimal, but just goes to show you, can you buy Scotch whiskey for less than $10 even after this JB inflation? You can. You can. Is it going to be exquisite? No. Is it going to be a nightmare? No. Some little fruity notes as I let it breathe. It's actually alright. It's got less bite than like some of the real cheap other ones I had, such as Highland Mist, Inverhouse, and those aren't bad. They're kind of bland. They don't really have this honey note here. Some of those have like a little touch, little wisp of smoke. You know, they're putting some Speyside in, some not Speyside, not Jura, that thing with the note, with the smoke region. I know what I'm talking about there. I just can't think of the word. Isla. All right. It's a sort of bland label, but it's not a terrible label. It's mostly text. We've got a nice little valley painting down there. Hay and McLeod Limited. I'm going to research that. So, how does it go with some crackers and corned beef and some sriracha sauce? It's okay, especially considering I didn't have much to eat today, just a bowl of grits. I mean, I spruced it up with ricotta cheese and some canned sausage, if you can believe that. It's a real product. Banner. canned sausage. It's interesting. And some diced onions, black pepper, and homemade hot sauce. Yeah, that was an okay breakfast, but it was such a small amount. I need some food when I'm doing all these alcohol-related projects. Score. I like the fact that it's got that honey note, sweet honey, even clover honey. It's got no kind of bite or harshness to it. It's easygoing, it's mellow, it's mild, and it's enjoyable. So when a product does that for me, I'm so happy for it. I think it's an A product. Might seem mad. You might think I'm crazy. People say I'm crazy, but I'm in demand. To steal a quote. But, no, but, you know, as a comedian in all seriousness, no, but really, it's nice. Just goes to show you can find nice products out there for a low price. And I stumbled across it, and I'm glad I bought it. And if they'd had that Sir something series for, I went back and it wasn't $9.99 again. I should have bought it, but you know how you do when you don't. Yeah, 93 out of 100, 9.3 out of 10. Would I prefer smoke and the Isla style? I do prefer that, but it's more of a single malt thing. And this is a nice, mellow, blended Scotch whiskey. And yeah, so 9.3 out of 10. I'm going to keep drinking it. Thinking on it, drinking on it. Could the score go lower? It could. It's unlikely. That usually never happens. But so anyway, so check it out. And I'm going to end this review by saying, go on a trip to Scotland, because you're never going to track down where this is made. You know, where it's really made.